That's Jose?
I would assume so, yeah.
Okay, what about up there? So if we did like a heart transplant,
I'd still be standing here. I just have
okay,
a different heart. Oh, because I mean,
okay.
obviously, with the heart transplant, you don't transfer like
The soul, the
memories.
memories. Where are
Yeah.
memories?
Some people may think a mind is something completely different, like coal mine or something like that.
Sure, sure, sure. Can you tell me a function of the soul?
Function of the soul, feeling connected.
Feeling
Connection?
connected, connection. What if I tell you all that assessment's brain stuff?
I think the soul and mind are sort of like two different things.
Okay, give me a function of the soul.
Now that you have me think about it, I feel like you're probably right.
Am I in my mind? No, yeah, I would say I'm in control of my mind.
You're in control.
So my mind is the one that's in control. So we're just one.
I think so. Things that neuroscience has answered more recently, I feel like you're trying to send an email with a typewriter.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that accusation? Is that fair?
Well,
So, I'm here with
Hello.
Jose.
I'm Jose.
Very good. Where are you from?
I'm originally from the border of Texas and Mexico, so I'm from Eagle Pass, Texas.
Okay, very cool, very cool. All right, and so what do you study here?
I'm not studying it. I'm kind of like just touring the campus because
Cool.
I'm thinking about going for my master's.
Yeah, and what do you think you do your master's in? Or what will you do your master's in?
English.
English? All right, very good. English is sort of another approach to, I mean, literature is another approach to understanding the mind and society and so on. So, Jose, what is Jose?
Who is Jose?
What?
What is Jose?
Materially. Like, point at Jose.
I'm a human being, Homo sapiens.
Yeah? And so you were looking at your hands there.
I think you always look at your hands when you wonder like who you are.
Really? Okay. Can you tell me more about that? I don't think I do that.
I don't know. I feel like those are like, like it's in a weird way. It's like the farthest. They're like the farthest from us. Like,
Yeah.
but they're also like, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like,
yeah. I'm gonna think more about that. And when you say the farthest from us, so what's the reference point?
I mean like the farthest like how do you say it? Like it's kind of like the farthest extension of like our physical body.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's why they call it an extremity, right? Okay. And so then let me ask you this. Tell me, let's play a game of hot and cold real quick. I'm gonna try to point at like the essence of Jose. Okay? So let's see. You tell me, so I'm pointing at your shoulder right now. What temperature is this? Hot, cold?
Cold.
Cold? What about now? How am I doing?
Hot.
Hotter? Okay, I'm pointing here at your heart, let's say.
Yeah, hot.
Okay, that's Jose?
I would assume so, yeah.
Okay, what about up there? Is that hot?
Definitely.
Definitely hot?
Definitely.
So if we did like a heart transplant, so let's say you and I switched hearts, and we were standing right here, surgeons came in, knocked us out, did the transplant. Would you be standing here or still standing there?
I'd still be standing here. I just have a different heart.
Okay, so the heart isn't really the essence.
No, because
then.
I mean,
Okay.
obviously with the heart transplant, you don't transfer like
The
memories.
soul, the memories. Where are
Yeah.
memories?
In the brain.
In the brain? So if we...
But I mean, obviously this is oftentimes like the symbolic
it's a
area of the
symbolic
heart,
area.
right? Like we always say about heart, but like obviously our compassion does not originate from our chest.
Right.
It's all from the brain.
It's all
But
from the
nevertheless,
brain.
our heart
We
is
do
some
think of
weird
it as being-
symbolic
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Let me. I want to get another angle just as we wrap up. Okay, so I'm just turning these on as well because I realize we're in the dark a little bit. Okay, so last question is: do you know about? Well, it's a two-part question. Do you know about how the brain works?
Más o menos, yeah.
Okay,
Like-
and so are you? If you say that like everything is coming from the brain, are you convinced now that it would be important to learn about how that works? Oh, let
Yeah.
me change it. What about this? What if I told you that brains make a lot of mistakes? They're not as
Oh yeah, we're not computers.
Right, exactly.
And even computer, I mean,
And
like
even any
there's
processing
errors,
system can have
mutations.
error.
It's genetic
Yeah.
material has mutations. and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
Okay.
So yeah, we're not infallible. We're fallible.
Exactly. We're very fallible, and that is such an important word. And it's that's kind of the point of doing these videos, is to try out different ways of encouraging that humility. understanding that we're fallible, can you name a common mistake that brains make?
Addiction.
Addiction, that's a great one. That's a great one. That's a really good one. Okay, and then last thing, have you heard of the in-group, out-group bias?
I'm so sorry, I got a message.
No, no worries.
Okay, so sorry.
In-group, out-group bias.
In-group, out-group
That could be
bias.
considered a
No.
mistake that brains make. We have this preference, of course, for people who feel like our kin, who seem like our kin, who look more like us.
Okay, yeah.
And then we have sort of an aversion to or a wariness
to people
toward-
that look different from us.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a very common brain thing, right? Okay, and so like that is a great example of the importance of this humility. Because if I'm evaluating people and I say, oh, he's bad, he's good, and I don't realize I'm taking into account.
Yeah, sometimes our brain really simplifies things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just by the, definitely, biases.
Biases, exactly. Okay, and then the other word is heuristics, the shortcuts in our thinking. And so that is what I want your takeaway to be from this conversation, is to look up some of these common heuristics and biases.
Yeah.
Thanks very, very much, Jose.
Thank you.
So we can do Willis Tower as our background here. Okay, so will you introduce yourself for the camera, Déjeunée?
Sure. How y'all doing? My name is Déjeunée Antoine. I came all the way from Chicago from Grenada, Mississippi.
Oh, wow. Okay, very good. And what's your major?
My major is mass communication. I am a junior at Tougaloo College, one of the top HBCUs in the nation.
That is excellent. Excellent. Okay, very good. All right, mass information, right? Is that what you said?
Mass communication.
Mass communication, that's right. So the giving of, I guess, information to the masses, right? Okay, very good. Okay, so I asked you if you were okay to do an interview about the mind. And do you remember how you responded?
Yes, I first was a little hesitant because I was on my way somewhere, but I was like, why not?
Sure, yeah, and that's true, and those are true details. And I was thinking of the fact that you said, what do you mean, like the brain?
Yes.
So, mind is brain? Okay. Does everybody think that?
No, because some people may think a mind is something completely different, like coal mine or something like that.
Sure. It depends on the accent, whether you pronounce the D or not. Okay.
Yes.
What about people who think that the mind is immaterial, is not part of the body? Like a soul, maybe?
I mean, I kind of think that it's kind of with both. I feel like,
Okay.
of course, the mind is, to me, the brain.
Okay.
The brain is, of course, in your body. It's something that helps you function. But I'm a spiritual person as well. I believe in soul ties, the brain, souls. It kind of all connects, if you ask me.
Sure, yeah, and I am asking you, so that's perfect. Okay. Can you tell me a function of the soul?
Function of the soul, feeling connected.
Feeling
Connection.
connected, connection? What if I told you that's a brain thing?
Then maybe it is.
Okay. So, because I guess the emotional centers, right? Emotions, that happens in the brain, in this area we call the limbic system in the center of the brain. How we relate to other people and so on. Love chemicals, all that's in the brain. Okay. Can you give me another one then?
I say connection. I don't know. I really think that's the biggest one. Like when people be like, my energy, my vibe, they either connected with that person or even like.
What if I tell you all that assessment's brain stuff? Would you hit me?
I mean, well, hey, it's hey.
Yeah. So, because here's my thing.
Okay, I'm listening.
I think that so long as we think that we are souls, we think that we kind of can't be studied. We think that we're kind of limitless. We think that we are perfect sometimes, in a sense, like that we see the world as it is and so on. But then once we start seeing ourselves as brains, as just dumb cells, we start being able to, we get a little more humility. It's a little more obvious to us why maybe we can't trust all of our perceptions and all of our judgments, because it's just cells, we're just beasts.
Right.
How does that sit with you?
It sounds about right.
Yeah? But does it also feel like offensive to say?
No, not at all. I mean, everybody has their own opinions, and what you said to one person, somebody else may feel a different way. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think that science can settle a question like that?
Yeah, to a certain extent.
To a certain extent?
I do.
Okay, all right, very good. Well, thanks very much for stopping and talking with me.
No problem.
There you go. Okay, so who am I here with? What's your name?
My name's Connor.
Connor, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Very good. Where are you from?
I'm from here in Chicago.
Chicago, very good. And what's your major?
High school student.
You're a high school student. Okay, very cool. What do you think you want to
from
major in?
Ignatius over there. I'm thinking something in medical.
Okay, cool. And what were you pointing at? What'd you say?
Say Ignatius over there.
Oh, that's your high
Yeah.
school. All right, very
Yeah.
good. You're thinking something medical.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So I said that it was an interview about the mind.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as a soul, or do you see yourself as a body, as material, or maybe some other option?
Probably closer to a soul.
Closer to a soul?
Yeah.
Okay. And then for you, the mind is immaterial. The mind is is the soul like the mind?
Not exactly. I think the soul and mind are sort of like two different things.
Okay, give me a function of the soul.
I feel like the soul might determine things like personality. And
Okay.
then the mind might be more about, wow, it's windy. More about like problem solving,
Okay.
rationality, that sort of thing.
Okay. What if I tell you that you're absolutely right, that the frontal lobe is involved with problem solving and
Yeah.
And rationality and so on, but that even the frontal lobe is involved with personality?
Okay.
What if I tell you that personality is studied by psychologists?
I believe you.
You believe me, wouldn't you? And psychologists tend to study what organ?
Like the brain?
The brain, right? So what if I told you that personality is a brain thing? Could you come up with another function of the soul? Because I suspect that each function you come up with, I'm going to tell you it's a brain thing.
Well, I mean, now that you have me think about it, I feel like you're probably right. I
What
mean, the main thing that I thought of was like personality, creativity, that sort of thing. But I guess you could also argue that's about the brain too.
Yeah, because like for instance, alcohol or
Yeah.
those things are chemical things that have an effect on the brain, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And they have an effect on personality, don't they?
yeah.
Okay, so what if I told you that we can say all this stuff is soul stuff, and we can say that we have found the soul, that the soul is biological, and it's right up there under that mop of hair. It looks nice, the hair.
Thank you.
Okay, so then will you now, going forward, take a bit more of an interest in psychology and neuroscience, understanding that like we are researching the
Yeah.
soul?
I mean, I was already like slightly interested. I mean,
Sweet.
I'm still not sure what I want to do.
Yeah,
When I said medical, I sort of just meant like biology,
sweet.
everything like that.
Sweet.
And so, yeah, maybe, probably.
Okay, because let me tell you something, Connor. This is a bit of a turning point for our species.
All right.
This is the first time that it's kind of possible for a species to kind of achieve self-awareness,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
we tend to think of ourselves as like hearts and souls and all this other stuff,
Yeah.
right? Think we have brains. It's the brain saying that. I have a brain, by the way, which is weird,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you, as you're a young man, you're going to be in your career, you're going to be working in this transition period where humans start to realize what they are. So I hope that you contribute to that transition and
Thank you
that
very much.
awakening.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Connor. Tell us your name again for the camera.
How it going? So I just start speaking, going right.
Yeah,
Hi, so I'm Ziyad Khalil, and yeah,
very
right here,
good.
about to get started.
Excellent. And what do you study?
So I'm studying. I'm a criminology, law, and justice major.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Oh shoot. Well, now I really want to make sure that the audio is really good.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, maybe this will give us a little cover. Let's just move a little closer to the... Okay, that's awesome. So when I was walking up to you,
Yeah.
you were hesitating about whether or not you were going to engage,
Yeah,
right?
it was.
And I was,
Holy cow!
oh boy, this is crazy. And I was definitely, I was like, should I keep talking to him or, you know, what? Okay, so here's what I want to ask you.
Oh.
Gosh, do we have time to walk over there?
Yeah, let's go.
Sweet. And we can keep talking while we walk.
Uh-huh.
So here's what I want to, first question I want to ask you is, that interpretive process, that judgment that was happening,
Yeah.
where was that happening in your body?
Mainly in terms of why I ultimately ended up deciding to do it.
Not
Like-
necessarily why, but just what were the mechanisms that were like
Like the hesitation and everything. The
that were
thinking.
doing all of it, the hesitating, the deciding, all of it
Well, it was obviously all happening in the mind, but
in the mind.
it was all in the mind.
And what organ does the mind?
brain.
The brain. So
The closer we get, the better it should be.
it should be better, right?
Yeah, right? In theory.
But maybe I don't know enough physical theory though. Okay. All right. Boring background, but at least we're safe. So you were saying that it happens in the brain, all that interpreting and judging and deciding and okay, very good. What about this conversation? Where's that happening?
This conversation is still happening. It's happening everywhere. It's happening in the now. Like if you're speaking like organly specifically, then not. Yeah, it's in the mind. Because I mean, the mind controls everything for sure.
Very good. Okay. So what's your relationship to your mind? Identity? Like, are you your mind? Possession? Do you have your mind?
My mind, or do I have my mind? Look, that's such an intricate question. I've never thought of it like that. Am I my mind? No, I would say I'm in control of my mind.
You're in control?
Yeah.
So you said your mind controls everything.
But then I'm in control.
But then you're in control of your mind.
So in my mind, I see what you're saying when you say that.
Let me ask you this to contribute to the thinking. This word I, this sentence, I am in control of my mind. What's producing that sentence? Dang, okay. Because that seems like it might give us some clarity.
So my mind is the one that's in control.
Maybe one and the same.
It is.
Maybe you are a mind.
Yeah. So we're just one.
I think so. I think that humans like to think of themselves as magical, and so it feels gross to them to be cells. And so they like to think of themselves as being like some kind of
like
puppeteer made of pixie dust that controls a mind that then controls the body. But it seems like an extra layer that we can just cut off.
Yeah, we are the mind.
I'm thinking about the implications in like justice and so on. Like if there's sort of a new subfield of neuroscience called neurolaw, there's neuroethics and so on. So like, what is this understanding that we are these biological beings, thinkers, and probably free will has to be redefined because free will as we think of it, we probably don't have. What does that mean for responsibility and for justice and so on, right? So I think it's really relevant to your work, understanding those processes. Okay. All right, very good. So we can we can leave it there and then leave a comment on the video once I publish it because I can see you thinking in there, and I don't want to like interrupt right now.
No, for sure, it's got me thinking.
Yeah,
the way you put it, I for sure see. I could see you have a very different way of thinking about it. Sure as hell different than what I do, but
yeah, and
all different. It could be good, it could be bad, but though I don't know what you're giving. I like it's a good type of different that you're giving off. Like it's a good type of different.
I think this is the direction that we're heading. So like our ancestors were on this, we even in the modern day, we're kind of looking for the self. What am I, right? And our ancestors had lots of different ideas that everything had a soul, right? Plants, everything. And then some Abrahamic religions were like, no, it's actually just humans that are magical. Everything else is just like a beast, is of the earth. Yeah. But humans are these magical things from above. And we've continued to try to understand our place in the world and what we are. Copernicus said we're not in the center of it. Freud said you don't really know your mind, that you are the mind, but a lot of these things you don't experience. And only recently have we had the technology to be able to sort of see thinking happening in the brain. And so it's now that we're going, oh shit, are we brains? Am I a brain producing this sentence right now? So, very cool talking to you.
Nice talking.
So, yeah.
What was your name? Yeah, what was
Eris.
Your name? Eris?
Yeah.
I like it.
Awesome.
Here
So
we've got our shared mic.
So tell us your name.
My name's Anthony Robinson.
Very good. And are you a student here?
Yeah, I am.
And what are you studying?
Right now, medicine.
Cool, good, okay. So here's the question. Are you a mind or do you have a mind?
That's a interesting question due to the philosophical framework behind it. So
okay, yeah.
And it still haven't been answered yet.
Yeah, well, Yeah, sort of. I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of answer someone is looking for. There are people that are dissatisfied with thinking of the mind as the brain. It feels gross to think that I'm cells, that this experience is cells. Other people that I think are more humble, say, yeah, of course I'm cells. Of course I'm of this earth. I don't need to be magical. My mind is my brain. That's my mind right there behind that Nike logo. Not mine, but yours. And we know that because, for instance, even this sentence that I'm saying to you, these sentences, we know what organ is processing them. We know how they go into here, they will for the camera into here, how they tickle the inner ear cell hairs, and then how they're processed by an area called Wernicke's area, how it bounces around in there, and then another area called Broca's area produces a response.
Well,
does it feel gross?
No. In my humble opinion, just due to my studies and what I've learned.
Guys, we're backlit. We'll go like this.
Okay. So what I'm learning from my humble opinion and just research that I've been doing as of late, the mind, the body, and the conscious are all three separate entities.
Okay. Can you tell me about some of that research? I want to learn from that research.
I believe Kant. I can quote Kant, 1700 utilitarian ethics.
Okay.
And it says something to the effect that I think for I am. And to me, that interpretation is just because I have the ability to think and just because I exist doesn't intertwine those two things.
Okay. So, I want to correct some of that.
Okay.
So it was Descartes.
Descartes, you're right.
And he said, cogito ergo sum, or something like that, which means, yeah, I think, therefore I am. So there's two issues with that. One is that it's circular. By establishing that I and saying I think, well, you don't even have to say the think part. You can just say I, therefore I am. You see, if you have as a premise the assumption that I exist, and then your conclusion is, therefore I exist, that's just begging the question. The other issue with that is that he was making the point that because he thinks that is evidence that he is the thinker, that they are one in the same.
That he has logic, that he's able to make logical decisions.
Not even necessarily logical, just any kind of decisions, any kind of thinking, experiencing, and so on. Okay. So, and then books, because there are a lot of books now. Oh, no. Here's the last thing I want to say about that. Science gives us new information, doesn't it?
Correct.
You know this.
Correct.
You're going to be a doctor or maybe go into research into biology. And that research, you want that to serve some function, right? So if you discover something, right? Discover either a new treatment or the mechanism of a disease or something. Would you want, if I then interviewed, after your discovery, I interviewed someone about the mechanism of that disease, the thing that you figured out. How would you feel if the person I interviewed, how would you feel if the person that I interviewed said, oh no, I don't believe that, because 300 years before Anthony discovered that, someone else with no tools or technologies made a different claim. It's actually bad spirits causing that disease.
So how would I feel?
Yeah, you'd be like, damn, what'd I do all that research for?
Kinda, but I got a saying, you wouldn't try to access the internet with a typewriter.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like by you talking about Kant or Descartes, whoever, no worries. When we're talking about sort of things that neuroscience has answered more recently, I feel like you're trying to send an email with a typewriter. What do you think about that accusation? Is that fair?
Well, I would like to take your contact information.
Yes, let's continue. Let's do this again.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I'm going to run off and try to hunt down that microphone.
Yeah.
So okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
It's what I've learned is for also studying quantum physics that an instant before the instant before the person sees whatever the reality is, it has over 1 million possibilities before it hit the eye coordinates or whatever.
Yeah, the observer
The
effect.
observer effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And so that is the go-to. So it's true. I can't explain to you the observer effect. Nobody can yet. But I don't know if that question, because in science we don't really like to justify a belief with a question. So, but people cling to that question. Hey, as evidence that no, we are magical because look. Because when we observe, it has an effect and so on. And also, we definitely should do another conversation because I've done a terrible job of trying to keep this mic oriented towards us. But anyway, whenever people are trying to cling to the idea of like an immaterial magical soul, they go to quantum mechanics, the hardest, least understood thing in the world. And we go, hey, that's evidence.
Yeah.
So Anthony, let's pick this up another time.
Okay.
I'm really excited.
You go here?
No, I went here years ago.
Okay.
And then I studied abroad for a semester and stayed there for 10 years and just got back. So yeah.
Okay.
But
that's
yeah.
awesome. I appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, that's sweet.
Cerebral person. Yeah.
Good.
I like
good.
that.
Think about it. We'll connect. So let me give you my information now.
That sounds good.